All right. Good afternoon. I want to welcome everyone. I'm Dawn CA and I lead the development team here at SOS. And thank you all for joining us. Today's webinar is very, very timely as it commemorates the LGBTQ month here in June and also Father's Day, which is coming up on Sunday. It's great to have stories like this to celebrate during a time when there's so much chaos going on around us. And the two gentlemen that you're going to meet and their family have given the gift of love and family to 4 wonderful children. And you'll see how this union has brought just unparalleled happiness to their lives. So now I would like to introduce SOS Executive Director Jillian Smith to do her welcome. Jillian.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name again is Jillian Smith, and I am the Executive Director at SOS Children's Village. This is the 3rd webinar that we've done during the COVID-19 crisis. It's been a very challenging time, and our goal has been to bring information and help educate people on who we are and what we do. And today's webinar is really exciting. It is a very touching story, a tale of 2 dads. And I think it's just very timely in that it's Father's Day on Sunday, but it also really depicts who we are and what we do at SOS. We have a goal of keeping siblings together, serving children and families in the foster care system, and empowering these children and families and young adults to be successful members of society. And when you hear the story of Eryc and Jeremy and their family, I think that you will see how their story really brings the mission of SOS full circle. I have known Eryc for about 10 years. He did grow up in the foster care system, which he will share with you a little bit more later. And excuse me, he started interning with us as a young adult. And right away, we saw a lot of determination, a lot of drive, and a lot of desire to make sure that his future was successful, even though he had many challenges in his past. And after he interned with us, we had the opportunity to offer him a full-time position. So he's been an employee with SOS for the past 7 years. And it's been a wonderful opportunity to watch him grow and develop as an employee, but also in his personal life. And about 4 years ago, in 2016, we had a sibling group of 6 that were placed with us. And it was pretty obvious early on that these children were not going to have the opportunity to go home with their biological parents. And as the discussions took place about what would happen for these kids, Eryc and another employee of ours stepped up and said, we want to give this family permanency. Eryc was dating Jeremy at the time, and they started talking about getting married and taking on the role of being fathers. And they're going to share this wonderful story with you, but it is truly amazing to have experienced and watched it all unfold. And I had the pleasure of being in the courtroom on the day that the adoption became permanent, and it was one of the most impactful days of my life. So I'm going to turn it back over to Dawn. She's going to introduce you to Eryc and Jeremy, and I know you will be as touched by their story as I have been.
All right, well, thank you so much, Jillian. So we're going to go ahead and begin and bring Eryc and Jeremy Davis as they begin to share their story. One of the things, Eryc, I'd like for you to share with our audience today is just talk a little bit about your journey through foster care and what brought you to today, where you now a family of 4, you have a teenager and some preteens. So if you could begin to share with us, we'd appreciate it.
First of all, hi, hello everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. I am completely elated for this opportunity and this platform to share my story. Growing up was definitely difficult for myself. I'm a second oldest of a sibling group of 9. We all grew up in the foster care system, and unfortunately, we did not have someone to step up to the plate and adopt all 9 of us. So we grew up split up, and I regret it to this day, and I still deal with some different traumas because I did not have my siblings to grow up with. And it's a very heart-wrenching thing to go through as a child. Therapy was very, very important to me as a child as well. So my three sisters did grow up at SOS, and that is how I found out about SOS Children Villages. I was granted the opportunity straight out of high school to start an internship through the Human Resources Department, and the rest was honestly history. I've been fortunate enough to be employed there for the last 7 years as a main employee. And I'm just very, very grateful for SOS because it definitely brought my life full circle, as now I was able to provide what someone wasn't able to give me to my 4 children now. I'm so grateful also for my husband who stands by my side, and he has been my rock throughout this whole process as well. I'm just very, very excited and very, very grateful for the opportunity that has came in. As much as everyone says I've fulfilled my kids, they have fulfilled me more than I can ever explain.
Well, Eryc, thank you for sharing. So, Jeremy, we know from talking with you and Eryc that there has to be some challenges with a ready-made family. Can you talk a little bit and share with us what was that like for you? You and Eryc were dating, and then boom, your dad took 4 kids. How did that happen?
It was a process. It was a process. A lot of talking, a lot of convincing, a lot of, hey, are we gonna do this or not? But it definitely changed our lifestyle a lot. Being 20-something-year-olds and just traveling all around the world and able to just get up and go at any moment was definitely missed sometimes. But it was definitely a change that helped us both. I did not originally want children, and me and Eryc did have those discussions, and that we always just discussed that when it was time, we would talk about it. But it wasn't something that I thought that I wanted at the time. But he came home one day and just let me know that he had a kid that was placed there that was just like me. And I was like, okay. He was like, well, you should be his mentor. And I was like, okay, I'll do it. But then he brought the paperwork home, but I sat on that paperwork for like 3 months. And Eryc kept coming back like at least like once or twice a week. Did you fill out the papers? Did you fill out the papers? No, I'll fill it out. I'll get to it. But I actually ended up coming to drop something off to Eryc to work. And he was like, hey, just come here, for a second. I was like, where are we going? I had no idea he was going to introduce me to Jared. And I came to the door and he was like, hey, this is Jared, and you should meet him. So I met him now. So I'm like, okay, I'll go fill out the paperwork and I'll go and do it. And I became his mentor. And then once I became his mentor, I started coming, hanging out with, the other children. And then it was a definite, yes, we'll go ahead and we'll adopt these kids.
Now, was there one defining aha moment for both of you where you said, you know what, we're gonna do this, we need to do this? Can you share with us, what was that moment? What did it look like? Where were you?
We went out to eat. It was our first unsupervised visit. And we were able to take them off site. We went to Buffalo Wild Wings, and we had a very interesting conversation with them, just being truthful about who we are. The kids didn't necessarily understand our relationship per se. They thought we were brothers or best friends. So right. We had to kind of explain that to them that no, Jeremy and I are together. And they didn't really understand, but I think for them, us asking them, well, how would you feel if, we adopted you, and how would you feel about having 2 dads? And it was after that conversation and getting their response and seeing their emotion towards it and acceptance that we left the restaurant saying, okay, this is what we want to do. This is what we want to do. This is what we're going to do. It was kind of that defining moment.
Well, thank you for sharing that. And when you think about everything that has gone on, even most as recently as last week, when the Supreme Court upheld the Civil Rights Act of 1964, making it illegal to discriminate against a gay or transgender employee. To even think that in 2020, we're there. There has to be situations where the children could encounter people who are not as accepting, who don't understand. How do you prepare them for that? What are some of the conversations that you have now, and is it an ongoing process? Could you share a little bit about that?
Sure. It is definitely an ongoing process. And initially, Jeremy and I, we had to discuss that amongst ourselves, even before we stepped into the process of adopting our children. It was a hard conversation because we don't want to ever put them in a situation to where, you know, they have to experience that, but it's something that we can't deflect from happening. We can't avoid it. It's, you know, it's unavoidable. So we had our conversation, and then that same day at Buffalo Wild Wings, we had a very open and honest conversation, again, explaining our relationship, who we are as people, what we stand for. And I think their biggest thing was...
Yeah, because we let them know, you know, that people may not understand, or, you know, that it's not something that a lot of people are still used to at this time. But we let them know that you can't encounter, you know, people not being accepting of you having, you know, two dads. And you may, while you're in school, if anyone, you know, asked, or, you know, we had to come to school for something, they may, you know, may not react, you know, in a positive way. But the good thing was, when we spoke to them and we asked them how did they feel about having two dads, their answer was they were okay with having two dads. They just didn't know how to explain it to someone else. And that's when we knew, like, okay, we can work with that. Because you explain it to someone else, we could prep, we could talk about it, and, you know, just let them know that having two dads is a good thing. You know, it's not a bad thing to have, you know, two dads. You know, you're in a, you know, two-parent household, and, you know, you have a lot of love. You know, you have two dads to get it from, so it's not a bad thing. So if anyone, you know, tries to make you feel that way, you can let them know that my dads love me and I'm happy. You know, so
Wonderful.
And continuing that conversation as well. It's an ongoing process. The kids are getting older, and you know, middle school and high school, they really go through life and that maturity rate, as well as other kids. So preparing them, preparation is key, and two dads are better than one.
Yeah.
I would agree. I would agree. And based on when we hear from the children, I think it's like you get twice the fun.
Yeah.
So the other question I had before we bring the kids on is, so you have teenagers. So you're usually, people kind of graduate to that, but you're like, boom. How has that been? With you have one teenager and one about to be there. Can you share a little bit of that?
Well, definitely, it can be challenging at times. But I will say it's very amazing to watch, because you're literally seeing them grow.
Yeah.
And you're seeing their interests change, and they like to do this, and they really don't like to do this anymore, or they're more interested in different things now. I also just want to touch base on the other former SOS employee, Rashani, who's not my sister. She adopted the two younger ones. So as her being their aunt and the woman of the family, we do lean on her a lot when it comes to different feminine things that, you know, she can kind of give us advice on and help us out. Yes. So she has those conversations, and then we meet behind and try to get it together, you know, so it's definitely, it takes support when it comes to that. And I have a lot of experience working at SOS with the teenagers, so that definitely has prepared me a bit more as well.
Yeah, that's true, because not only are you new dads to four, but you're teenage girl dad too. So there are things that your learning curve, you needed to up that. So
yes,
right.
Yeah, I'm definitely calling on my sister and my mom. Like, okay, this happened. What am I supposed to do?
Well, good. It sounds good. It sounds like you all have a lot of support. One question before we bring the children on. Karen wants to know, what do you enjoy doing as a family?
A bunch of stuff.
We listen to music a lot around the house.
Yes.
Like, we're constantly, like, just right before this, like, we were just all just dancing around music and, you know, taking pictures on the phone. We love eating, so we go out to eat a lot.
Yes, and cooking at home. I think that's my biggest thing. I love to look up different recipes recipes and we all cook together. Baking is a big thing.
And science experiments. Eryc
Yes.
brings home like all these different science experiments to do with them. So we're always just doing something. And once everything opens back up, we'll be one of the first people at a theme park, because that's what we love going to do as well. So we do a lot.
Yeah, and COVID has really helped us. Again, I love my children because they love to spend time, and a lot of times, you know, your kids want to be alone and on the phones and that type of thing. Our kids love to be up under us, so we do spend a lot of time together. And during COVID and virtual school and things that have happened during this pandemic, we've just found more time to get creative.
Okay, wonderful. Well, if you don't mind, if you could bring the kids on so everyone can meet them. Clinton DaCosta just shared that you all have a great support. So he wanted to share that with you.
Okay,
Yes.
We'll grab them.
Okay.
All right. Go on.
Kaylee Lombardo says that you all are her heroes.
Oh, thank you so much.
All right. Hi, guys. How are you? Welcome.
Hi.
Welcome, welcome. So you have everyone here and they're waiting to hear your story, and we're going to go around and you're going to do your introductions, and we're going to start with you, LaPromise.
Okay, well, hi, I'm LaPromise. I'm 13 years old. I'm in the 7th grade going to 8th grade. I attend Lions Creek Middle School. I love dancing and doing anything that I can move around. A fun fact about Papa E is that he's very well organized, and a fun fact about Papa J is that he's very stubborn and fun. My favorite memory from Papa E was when we were on the Kraken and we were going, and it's like a roller coaster, and he was so scared to go up because there was this huge drop when we saw it, and I was just bugging him like, we're gonna drop, we're gonna drop, we're gonna drop, and he was so scared. It was really funny. And he was screaming too.
So I want to just stop for a moment to share with everybody. So Papa E is Papa Eryc, and Papa J is Papa Jeremy. So LaPromise, what you're saying is that Papa E had a little scare with that roller coaster.
Yes.
He talked me into going on it.
All right. So is there anything else that you shared? All right. So then why don't we hear? Let's hear from you.
Hi, I'm Kier. I'm 12 years old. I'm in the 6th grade going to the 7th grade. I attend Lions Creek Middle School. I love basketball. A fun fact about Papa E is that he loves shoes. He collects them. He has a whole bunch of them. And Papa J, he's a songwriter. My favorite memory with Papa E is when he was my chaperone for a field trip when I went to Epcot, and we went on all the rides there. We were walking around and everything. It was like really fun. And then with Papa J, it was on LaPromise's birthday when we had a water balloon fight, and then we were playing with water guns, and then me and him were just targeting each other with the water balloons and the water guns.
Wow, you know what, it sounds like having two dads is a lot of fun. So Kiera, thank you so much for sharing. I'm sorry, what was that?
It's very fun.
Okay, good. All right, Jarek.
My name is Jarek Davis. I'm 9 years old. I go to Trade Ones Elementary School. I'm in 4th grade, going to 5th grade. My favorite memory with Papa J is when we went to the circus. We were all laughing and eating popcorn. And then my favorite memory with Papa E is when we went to SeaWorld, and then we went on the Mantis, and we were all laughing.
Was that the same scary ride that LaPromise talked about, or another one?
No, it was a different one. I don't like roller coasters.
I see that you all enjoy that. So I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jarek.
Well, that's it.
Was there anything? Were you finished? Is there anything else that you wanted to share? So listen, I just want to take a moment. someone we have here, Michelle, is saying that she loves the enthusiasm from the family. Clinton says you should have brought a towel for the tears, that you all are amazing. So we're getting some messages about you all that we're sharing. All right, now we have the youngest with the biggest smile, and I would like to hear from Keela, and want you to share about Papa J and Papa E and yourself.
Okay. My name is Keela Davis. I'm 8 years old. I go to Twin Winds Elementary School. I'm in 2nd grade, going to 3rd. One fact about Papa E is that he's good at planning like parties and stuff. And one fun fact about Papa J is that he's fun and funny. My favorite memory of Papa E is when at the old house he was throwing me up and down. And one of my favorite memories of Papa J is when he was picking me up and then he was rolling me in the chair.
Good. So I just got a message that today is your anniversary.
Yes, it is.
So you all were keeping that from us. So happy anniversary.
It's our 2-year wedding anniversary. Yes, today.
Now that's
totally, yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, we're getting congratulations, happy anniversary from Lisa. Clinton, happy anniversary.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you. I don't know how we forgot to mention that. I apologize. Thank you.
That's a big deal. So one of the things, we know Father's Day is coming up, and I would love to hear from you kids if you can share. Do you have any plans? What is it that you would like your dads to know? I want you to share something special, and we'll promise we'll start with you. I mean, you all obviously, I see the smiles. Everyone has these huge, wonderful smiles. There's certainly something I know that you want to share with Papa J and Papa E. We're still getting happy anniversary messages. Beautiful family. That's what Karen says. Beautiful. All right, La Promise?
Oh, we have a surprise, little something going on. We can't speak on that because it's a surprise.
You have a surprise. Okay. So you're leading that. Well, all right. Well, so if you don't want to share what you're doing for Father's Day, what would you like your dads to know? Like how you feel about them, about your family. Would you share that with us?
Well, first off, we love you guys so much. And and we thank you guys so much for adopting us.
All right, thank you. All right, Kier, you look like you were ready. What would you like to share with Papa J and Papa E?
Thank you guys for everything you do for us, for putting a roof over our head, feeding us, taking us shopping, just for opening your arms to us and for everything you do.
Wow. Oh, wow, that's really wonderful. Thank you. All right, Eryc, you look like you're bursting to share. What would you like to share about your dads?
Thank you guys for caring for us and for adopting us. You guys are really fun and funny, and thank you guys.
Okay, thank you. All right, Miss Keela.
Thank you for taking us in. Thank you for sharing our house. Thank you for feeding us. And we love you.
Oh, Thank you. That's wonderful. All right, we did get a message from one of our viewers today that says there's so much, that you all bring so much love and hope to the world. If there are any questions, does anyone in the chat have any questions for anyone? We have another minute and then we will, okay, here's one. What is your favorite meal to make as a family?
What is your favorite?
So we have this.
You all did say you like to eat.
Yes.
They love to eat.
So there's like, it's not like a book, but we have, it's a Davis something. So we have Davis noodles, we have Davis wings, Davis shrimp. So there's different, when we try stuff and it comes out really, really good, that goes in the Davis book. So that's kind of what we.
What can you just like share with us, what are Davis wings like?
Davis wings, it's the way I like pan fry them and bake them, and then they're tossed in a secret buffalo sauce. And then we have the Davis shrimp. It's kind of like a honey garlic baked shrimp. So yeah, there's different recipes for our foods.
Okay. Wonderful. Someone had a question for you, Papa J. They want to know if you work outside of the home.
I do not actually. Well, I work from home, so even before COVID happened, I already was here all day, every day, working.
All right, and then Davis dishes sounds amazing. All right, we are running up on time right now. What I would like to do, I'm going to turn everything back over to Jillian. I want to thank you all for joining us. You're wonderful, just a heartwarming family, and I'm glad that you were able to share, and for everyone who joined us this afternoon. So thank you, and I hope that you're going to make some Davis special for Father's Day, and happy Father's Day, happy anniversary to both of you and all of you as a family. Jillian?
Thank you so much.
So my Davis family, thank you all. You guys know how much I love you and how amazing I think you are, but now everybody knows my little secret. I know that all of you that have joined us today, this is only a touch of how special this family is, but you can see that there's so much love and so much connection, and it just is, again, who we are and what we do as an organization. So, you know, we are doing this every single day. This is one snapshot. We have 60 kids living on our campus right now, 115 young adults that we're trying to support. COVID has been very challenging for us. We've had many events that have gotten canceled and loss of income, and we are going to be doing an event on July 18th that I want to share with you all. It's a virtual gala. It's actually Act 1. We're hoping that we can do something live and in person as we normally do each year in the fall, but July 18th, 7:30 to 8:30, we will be hosting our virtual gala, and it's going to just be a fun evening, real quick, who we are, what we do, with some fun raffles and auction items, and just a way for us to continue to try to raise money so that we can create more stories like the Davis family each and every day. So thank you again for joining us, and we hope to see you on July 18th.
Yeah. All right, thank you.